Welcome back to another book review, everybody. And today we have something a bit different. It's Worlds at War, an illustrated study of interplanetary conflict by Steven Caldwell. And this is obviously different to the type of books that I usually cover on the channel, but it's quite interesting. And it was a recent pickup from the thrift store. It's got amazing artwork in there. And just a little bit of a background of the book. This is an ex-library book. It's about, there's like 3 wars that's happened over so many, I guess, it might be a few centuries. This is all science fiction, and there's a few other books in the series. And Steven Caldwell is like the, what is he again? Because he's writing the story about these wars that he's kind of like a, I might get this wrong. He's kind of like a, there we go, historian type of person. It kind of says it here when I read it. But anyway, it's, I guess these wars are from his point of view. So there's like a whole federation involved and so forth. So I won't go into the nitty gritty about it all. But it's all science fiction and great artwork about these wars. And yeah, as you can see, we've got a few different wars there. There's 3 main wars. So anyway, no copyright intended. All artwork belongs to their owners. And with the image credits, there's a few artists here. I won't read them all out, but I'll list them in the description, because the artwork in this book is amazing. And I had a look around on YouTube, and there wasn't really anything about this book or these series of these books, which let's see. We've got Aliens in Space, Star Quest, The Fantastic Planet, the one we're looking at now, Worlds at War, Dangerous Frontiers, and Space Patrol. So I don't know if it's all part of one whole universe, if it's a continuation, or it's just about, it just talks about the whole, I guess the, I guess the whole genre in itself, or the whole story, or the whole world itself, this futuristic world. So that's a beautiful flying saucer we got there. And we've got some more flying saucer images. Really great late 70s, early 80s art. I think this is from 1980 actually, so I should say 80s. But you would think some of these would have been painted or drawn in the late 70s. Like myself, being a big fan of shooting, like spaceship shooting games, sci-fi like Alien movies and so forth. The artwork in this book just really, it's just so amazing. So when I saw it, I had to buy it straight away. Unfortunately, there's a few pages that have come out, but they're all there. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to get it all in the right image, as you can see in the one image, but I'll do my best. And this is the cover. It looks like kind of like the White House getting bombed there, I think. But yeah, I haven't read about it, the book. I was just so excited. I just wanted to review it because the artwork is just amazing. And this reminds me of like Thunderbirds, you know? Look at that spaceship. Bloody awesome stuff. So this is obviously the first war in this series or this world. It looks like a giant brain, doesn't it? It's a shame that these pages have come out. And initially when I bought this book when I was just flicking through it quickly through the thrift store, and I thought pages were missing. Okay, if this book is incomplete and all the pages, like there's pages missing and so forth, I'm just going to cut up the remaining pictures and make like a nice collage and frame it, but it's all there, so really nice artwork. Yeah, so please comment below if you know about this book, if you've read it. You know, if you know about this series, if it's a continuation. I'm going to try and slowly, see 1977, maybe try to pick up the others. But it seems to be a quite popular book. It's I paid $3 for it, but on eBay it's not cheap and doesn't seem to be very common at all. So I think people that have read this or owned it or grew up with it have a special place for it in their heart. But I was just blown away by the artwork, and that looks like Thunderbirds too, doesn't it? And you got this whole federal, which I only read just a little bit, and the Federals, like, you know, they're like a big empire, and then you got some other players in the story. Really really great artwork. You just don't get books like this anymore with this level of detail. So full on battle, war going, and we don't want war. War is obviously bad, but so he explains everything in here about the different players in these wars. You know, I guess their weaponry, their technology, so forth. That looks weird. I've got pages coming apart here. That's really nice. Look at that. Kind of looks like Cybertron from the Transformers. Got rockets flying. Got this ship that's just been blown to bits. So good. It's like with the Alien movies and this, like, you know, that kind of futuristic representation that they have in the 70s. It's like it's kind of like retro and future combined, you know. It's got its own kind of unique feel, like steampunk does, and yeah, that 1970s, early 80s futuristic look just has its own kind of vibe, and you see it in all different kind of franchises, like, you know, like Star Wars and Star Trek and so forth. So, you know, 1970s future technology. I know that kind of doesn't make sense what I just said, but yeah, these artists, they did an amazing job. Like, imagine being a young adult and having this book and reading for it, and just looking at these pictures and letting your mind wander. Look at that. Jeez, that's freaking awesome. Look at these ships. How unique are they? They've got these rocket boosters. They're flying in and out of this thing. Really, look at that. The boosters coming straight at you. Man, freaking great art. And that's why I wanted to show you this book on the channel. No, I'm not talking about the content, the written content much, and I know I'm doing a bit of a de-justice to the book by not covering that, but because I'm so busy and have the time to read it beforehand and talk about it, I just wanted to show it straight away, because the artwork's amazing. And yeah, and look at that, 1989, and it was cancelled. Port Lincoln, true date. And yeah, these are the other titles in this Galactic Encounters series. Here we go, produced by the Federal Data Bureau, which I mentioned. Yeah, oh, so it's also like a guide for space travelers as well. Yeah, so it's been written so space travelers can read, I guess, yeah, about what's happened within the Galactic Federation and so forth. So yeah, a different book. This was just an unusual find at the thrift store. I just knew it was special when I had picked it up and flicked through it. It's a shame that the pages have come off a bit, but it is a really nice book with the artwork. So please comment below if you've read this or owned it, or have any information that you'd like to share. I would appreciate that. So I hope you all enjoyed this review, and I'll see you all next time.